Patrick, is this the best you've seen Serena since she's come back from having the baby?
I think, generally speaking, the tournament, yes. I think she's fitter than she was last year because even though she made a lot of efforts to come back in shape last year, I don't think she had enough time. Having a baby is a big thing, so for a top level athlete to come back and be 100% fit after having a baby, you need time, and I think there was not enough time. So I think now she's ready physically. I think emotionally too, because it's a big change also in anyone's life to have a baby. You need to get used to your new life, and it took a bit of time. But I feel now she's back to being Serena on both the physical and emotional side. So I think her level is good, and I think she needed a big fight, and it happened today, and I think it's a great thing, especially when it ends like that.
She spoke to us, Patrick, about how she needed to bring it in these big matches. What do you think she brought in that 2-3 and 3-all game in the third set?
She was just being herself. I think that's her trademark, to be able to play those moments better than the opponent. I think one of her main qualities is to be a top competitor, and being a top competitor means being able to turn the matches around, to feel the big moments during a match, and on those moments raise their level, either with the quality of their shots or tactically, to win those points and turn the match in their favor. And I think that's what she did at 3-all. It was a big fight at 3-all because I think she was not in her. I think at that moment Simona was playing a bit better than her, and the danger was real, and she knew she should not get broken at that time, and she found a way, and then the match changed.
Patrick, it's now been many years you're working with this incredible champion, an incredible woman who's a cultural icon as well. Can you share what you really learned from her as an athlete and also as a person?
It's going to be difficult to summarize it in a few words, but she just. When you start this job, you have an idea of what a champion is in terms of mindset, and she just confirmed that 100%. She confirmed that champions. I'm talking about her, but she doesn't think like the other players. I've worked with a lot of players in my life. I have a tennis academy, as you know. I've worked with thousands of players, from young players to pros to juniors to top pros, and there is only one Serena in terms of mindset, and that explains why there is only one Serena with this career. It's completely those two things are completely sync. You become who you are, how you think, and a champion. I mean, there are a few things that champions do or think that are different than other people. I always tell this story. You know that Roland Garros has always been difficult tournament for her in the past. And when we started with 2012, she just lost in the first round. And after she started to win Grand Slams again, she won Wimbledon, US Open, the Olympic gold, etc. She told me that she was struggling to win Roland Garros. Last time she won it, I think it was in 2002, and we were in 2013 when she started to talk to me about that. And we made a plan, and she worked incredibly hard to win this one, and she won it in 2012. So 11 years after. And after the trophy ceremony, she went to stretch, and she told me, "Come with me, I'm stretching." So she was stretching, and after 2 minutes, she turned to me and she said, "Now we have to win Wimbledon." And she already forgot it. She was chasing something for 11 years, and maybe not 2 minutes, 10 minutes after, she was already focusing on the next goal. That's different. There are guys who win one tournament and they celebrate for 15 years.
Patrick.
Sorry.
Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
That's a great story. Can she win? Do you believe that she will win this tournament?
Of course, I believe she will win. If I don't believe she will win, I should coach somebody else. First of all, I always think she can win and she will win, and I think I should be in that state of mind because she's Serena, and because my goal is to make sure my job is to make sure she's ready, and I feel she's ready. So yes, she can win, and I hope she will win. That's 100% the goal.
She will win or she can win?
I think she will win. I don't want to say she will win because I don't know the history of what's going to happen in the future. I don't read in the future, so I cannot say she will win, but I think she will win, yes.
Patrick, you guys have had such a winning collaboration, but did you worry at all that what happened at the U.S. Open might irreparably damage your relationship? Did you even worry that she might say, Patrick, I can't, you might get thrown under the bus for what happened there?
No, I didn't worry about that at all, for many reasons. I'm going to name a few. Probably I will forget some. First of all, I hope that every time a coach gets a code violation for coaching, he doesn't get fired. Otherwise, there will be guys fired every 2 days, which is a problem. First. Second, I think I hope that our 7 years relationship is a bit stronger than a chair umpire. Third, that would be if she would have done something like this, I think that would be an emotional decision, and she doesn't do that. She's much too smart to do that. And even though I would have made a big mistake, which I don't think I did, even though, she does mistakes too. We're all human, and it's fine. And it's not a reason for taking a decision that would have an impact on your future. And I think she's smart enough to think like that. Is he the right person for me to get what I want or not? If not, okay, then, but she doesn't need a chair umpire to know that.
Is she more motivated by what happened in New York?
Sorry?
Is she more motivated here? Did she gain some extra motivation that she's carried into this tournament by not winning in New York and what happened?
I don't think she's more motivated. I think she was very motivated last year, but it was just too early for her. I don't think she was ready. She was ready to reach a final, but there's a big difference between reaching a final and winning it. Big difference. So I don't think she was ready. I didn't want to say it when she lost because it sounds like an excuse, but you cannot buy time. Things take time. To get back in shape after a baby. A few months are not enough. Still she could have won because she's doing things other people don't, but it was just, the story said it was too early. That's it.
Patrick, just to follow up on that, in getting Serena to the point where she's ready, would you say that's mostly a matter of the gym, fitness, running, getting that sort of that aspect of her in shape, or is it more technical? You really need to spend more time on the court or more time in the gym?
I think it's a combination. First of all, you need your body to work perfectly well to compete at the highest level. And I think the transformation of the body for a woman when she has a baby is huge. And to get back to what it was before, you need time and you need a lot of exercise, but not exercise for 2 months. It's a long process, and more than that, for many months you can't do what you want to do because the body's not able to do it. So you have to go really step by step. So you can't practice. And for example, before Roland Garros, I didn't want to make her move on the court because I thought it was dangerous for her. I didn't want her to get hurt. So she was practicing staying on one side, and then she has to compete at Roland Garros. So, and then there is the emotional part also, and the transformation between. she's a professional tennis player, and she becomes a mother, and it's a big transformation in her life. And I don't think that it's something that you deal with easily. You know, you need to also adapt to your new life. And I think it took time too.
Patrick, you talked before the tournament about wanting to add more entertainment to tennis and the production of it. And at this tournament, there's a lot of cameras behind the scenes here, which capture a lot of moments in the hallways that players sometimes don't seem to be aware of that they're on camera, and otherwise to build out a sort of more full picture. And I'm curious.
I know which one what you're talking about.
Yeah. So I'm curious what you make of those cameras, and you've been on them a lot already, and if it's too much into privacy, or if it's good for the show. And I mean, you were on Serena's reality show too, so you kind of know how that industry works a little bit too. But I'm curious what you make of them in this sort of tournament setting.
I think it's great, and I think there should be much more of that, because I think, I mean, if I speak generally, I believe that our sports fan get old. They're my age, to tell you how old they get, and I think we have to really worry about seducing the young generations with our sport. Our sport is very, very conservative, which is good because we respect the history of the game. That's great, but also we have to live in our times, and we have to be able to make the moves today, so tomorrow our sport will still be one of the biggest sports in the world. And if we don't do it, and unfortunately for many, many subjects, people don't do what they should do at the right moment, and after they regret, and they move too fast, and they do mistakes because they didn't do the right move at the right time. So it's a big subject. I think that the fans, of course, they need to know the players. So the behind the scenes are so important, because for a simple reason, we are, I think, in this room, all tennis fans. We love tennis, and just watching a good tennis match is enough for us. But the people who are not tennis fans, they don't understand tennis well, because tennis is complicated. Even the score how you count the score is complicated. Those people, we have to attract them. So if they root for a player or they hate a player, that's great, because they feel emotion when they watch tennis. And we love sport because of emotions. So they need to know the players. So I think all those behind the scenes that show the personalities of the players, let the players express themselves in matches even though they break rackets, is not killing anyone, is just behaving emotionally, and people are human, and it's great to show that they're human and they're not machines, and they have emotions, they have good emotions, they have bad emotions. What Francis Tiafoe did in this tournament, I think, is unbelievable for our sport. It's fantastic, but we need all that, and we need to encourage that. We don't need to create anything, because this can happen if you let it happen, and if you're here to capture it. So the cameras capture a reality, and coaching is part of the game. If you show it, it's also an incredible adventure for the people to see. So there are a lot of things that can be done, and I really push. I mean, I hope I'm not the only one who's pushing in that direction, because I know how much our sport, and I'm on both sides. I'm also on the broadcast side, because I'm working for the TVs, and I know how much it's really necessary and how much we have to do it. And I think I'm happy that the Laver Cup exists, because the Laver Cup showed that there is not only one way to show a tennis match. I'm not saying that all the matches should be like the Laver Cup, but there are a lot of very interesting things. And nobody believed in those kind of formats, and we have to realize that everybody loves it, because it has to be an entertainment. So that's my. So I was a bit long, but sorry.
So backers of Serena would say maybe something's happening at the U.S. Open, going all the way back to the 4 bad calls in the Capriati match, which led to Hawkeye, and the foot fault call deep into the match with Pleisters, the obstruction call, and then what happened this year. What are your thoughts? Do you think something happens with Serena at the Open? Is there a kind of double standard, and do you think what happened this year was correct or wrong?
I don't want to talk about that. Not that I'm really okay to talk about that. Believe me, more than you can think. But I want Serena to be into her tournament. I don't want all this thing around that everybody tries to bring back. We have a tournament to win. I want her to win it. She wants to win it. So let's talk about it after the tournament. And believe me, I'm okay to talk about it. I'm happy to.
Why do you think your relationship with Serena endures? Because a lot of players keep changing coaches and whatever. Is it just that she's won so many slams with you, or is there some kind of dynamic about both of your personalities?
I think several things. First of all, she's a very loyal person. She's incredibly loyal. So it's answering also another question that you asked. Did I think that she would stop after the US Open? No, because she's loyal. I think she also she's very responsible. Like, she doesn't blame others for her problems. She loses a match, she doesn't say it's my fault, even though I think it's my fault too. But this is me with myself. She would never blame me, or she takes everything on her, because she's strong enough and courageous enough and confident enough to be able to look at herself and say, I failed. I don't know many people who do that. It's easier to put it on somebody else. She does not do that. So that's already two main reasons. It's her personality, being loyal, and the second thing I said. Maybe also, and I think also we have a very strong relationship. I think we trust each other. We've been very successful. It counts too, and I think it's refreshing also to see that when there are problems, the first reaction of the player is not to say, "Okay, I get rid of the coach. I take another one. It's going to be better." It's not going to be better. It's not about that. It's about the connection and the trust. I mean, I completely understand that a player would stop, or a coach would stop with a player if the trust is not here anymore, because it won't work. You have to trust your coach 100% and believe what he's saying, and believe he's the right person for you. Maybe she probably does, otherwise she might have changed. But again, she's incredibly loyal. She's a trait of her personality.
Patrick, if Carlos Ramos is appointed as a chair umpire during the next 1 or 3 games, would that be an issue, do you think, for Serena? Or would there be a psychological, emotional hangover from what happened at the US Open?
So you're trying to bring me to the US Open again? I'm not going to answer that question. No, I understand, but I cannot answer for her. So I mean, I can answer for myself. I don't want to answer for her. So how she would feel, I don't know. And again, I understand you want to talk about the future, but it brings back to this US Open, and I don't want to talk about that now.
Last question.
It's good that you said this, because I'm here for the next 2 hours otherwise.
Unless there's something that I've missed.
Talk too much.
You've never been pregnant before. And you've never had
You have a
baby.
good eye.
You've never had a baby.
No. Yeah, I had many, but not myself. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You've never given birth, I mean.
No.
But you know, obviously having a relationship where you guys can talk honestly about what Serena's going through and communicate like what's happening with her and her body and her hormones and like all that stuff, I would imagine is really important. So if you don't know like what it's like to be pregnant, how do you coach someone who's coming back from having a baby?
First of all, I always try to understand, and I always try to put myself in the shoes of my player. So even, I mean, and I think I should be able to do that, because I think that's the role of the coach. And you can't coach someone if you don't completely understand the person. And you should be able to coach somebody who thinks completely different than you, who has a different culture, who have different emotions, and you have to be able to feel those emotions too. And I think that's how to coach. So I hope I've been able to do that with Serena after. I mean, during her pregnancy, I was not coaching her. I mean, except at the start, but I didn't know she was pregnant. But coming back from after the delivery, yes. But I think when you are very connected with your player or with whoever in life, you feel the emotions of the person, and you're able to have the right dialogue at the right time to get. But that's basically the essence of our work, you know. It's to, in order to bring the player to reach the goal he or she wants to achieve, you have to be able to navigate and say the right thing at the right time to make them do the right thing and have the right attitude and I mean, if it was just about telling your player you have to work hard and do this and that, this would not be. I think I would do another job, but it's much more subtle, and it's so much about the relationship and how to deal with the emotion of the other person. So I think I understand, even though I understand a lot of things that I didn't experience, and I think humans are able to, if they really want to and they really try to, understand other people that are very different and have different emotions. The problem is a lot of people don't try to, and they think everybody should think like them or feel like them. And if you coach like that, you're not a good coach. So I hope I don't do that.